Rose Sena, how are you?
I'm fine.
I want to thank you for coming and talking to us today about the history of Polymnia. As you know, we've been talking to Cheryl.
Right.
And it turns out, and I think this is correct, that you and she joined about the same time.
Right.
And so consequently, for both of you, it's 52 years.
Right. That sounds right.
That is amazing. So tell me, from your point of view, do you remember when you joined? Do you remember when you walked into Polymnia for the first time? Do you remember what that was like?
Oh, yeah. Jean Pendleton, she was a member, and she would sit as you came in the door. She had like a chair and a desk to do the membership.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think if I went by myself or how I went, because at that point I was probably singing in the church. It might have been somebody from the church.
Were you nervous?
No, I just knew that, because I had sung in high school.
I see.
I had always sung.
Okay.
And when I was younger, in like 18 or 19, I sang in St. Lazarus in East Boston in the choir.
In where? In East Boston?
East Boston, that's where we
Is that a
came
high
from.
school or a college or what? What do you mean East Boston?
East Boston is a part of Boston.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But where in East Boston were you singing?
Oh, in St. Lazarus
Oh, okay.
or St. Mary's.
I see.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a couple of them.
So, what made you? I mean, how did you find out about Polymnia, and what made you decide to join?
I think somebody told me about it, but I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there any differences between being in Polymnia way back then and being in Polymnia now?
Well, I think it was equal.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, because you had Keith Finney, who had just come from the service, and he was a great conductor. I think there was another one who came from Wakefield. That was before Keith, because Keith ended up going, he ended up in the service, so
He had to leave.
they had to
Yeah,
get someone
he got
else.
drafted. Yeah. What do you enjoy most about being in Polymnia?
Oh, I think for one thing, it's all the friends I made, and people like yourself. That so in a sense, it enriched my life
I see.
greatly.
I see. Did it have any effects on you as a person?
I think it helped me get through life. I don't know how
Oh.
to say it, in any other way.
Yeah.
Because it was my outlet. At that time I had 4 kids.
Oh boy. Okay.
And
This was your
being
escape.
able to get out and
It was your night off.
right,
Yeah.
right, and it worked out good. Yeah.
Did it have any other effects on your outlook on life, or your, any other kind of effects like that?
Well, yeah, I think so, because you end up singing all different things
Yeah.
too. We did all of the big masses, and Keith Finney was the director at the time, and he was a good singer plus a good conductor.
I see. So there's a lot of musical experience you got out of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and most of the people were people who were singing like in church choirs. So they were. I think most of the members were good singers.
Yeah.
It was very rarely that you.
Now I heard a story from Cheryl
About who?
about back then, the women used to dress up formally for the rehearsals. dresses, high heels, that kind of thing for rehearsals.
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
No? All right, we'll have to check with Cheryl to see if that was true. But no, she swore that it was true. And she had pictures to prove it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so yeah. So I was going to ask you if you dressed up.
Yeah, no, we did dress up. We had, I think, pants
Yeah.
and a top.
I see.
I'm almost positive it was that.
Okay. What about, do you have any messages for people that might want to consider joining Polymnia? What advice would you have them for someone who's new to Polymnia or is considering joining?
Well, I think if that person has a singing ability to be in a big choir, then it's an asset.
Does anyone actually think they have that ability? Don't you have to kind of try it and see what happens?
Well, in a sense, you had to audition.
Yeah.
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 Now, I don't know if there were. I know in the background I'd have to think about it, but there were some funny things.
Oh, yeah, well, tell me.
Yeah, they had one director that was kind of odd.
Odd? Oh, really?
I forget what his name was.
You don't have to name names. It's okay. So tell me, can you remember an incident that occurred that got you laughing?
Well, there might have been an incident too, when I think about it. But we sang in Wakefield. We sang in different churches. Well, I don't know, but I have been singing since I was a kid.
Yeah.
In the grammar school.
So you're not going to tell any tales about funny things that happened then, are you?
Like what?
Well, I don't know. What funny, what?
So you want funny things?
Yeah, tell me a funny thing that
Yes,
happened.
we do have funny things, yeah. But I can't remember. Yeah, there was one there was one story, but I don't remember. But I know it was a funny story.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now, let me ask you this. Can you describe what you enjoyed about some of the different artistic directors? You've been there 52 years. You've been through lots of artistic directors.
Right.
Tell me what you've found. What were your experiences with them? Was there anybody that stands out, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there were quite a few that stood out. Keith Finney, for one. He was in the Second World War, and he was a very good conductor.
What made him good?
What made him what?
What made him good?
Well, he was just a good musician.
You could follow him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, throughout the whole of my experience with anyone that was a conductor, they were all good.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. See, that I was looking in my junk room because I think I have some sort of a folder, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's all right.
That
No problem.
would have given more information.
Now, Polymnia's had some big events. I know there was a Carnegie Hall event. Were there any other big events that you can recall?
Well, some of the things told were something to do. God, was it due to a war? I'm thinking of Eleanor Tola now, who's long gone.
Yeah.
Well, Cheryl would know.
Yeah. But now you went to Carnegie Hall and sang.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah? Were you nervous there?
No.
Do you ever get nervous? No.
No, I don't think so. No, just, I had taken singing lessons.
Yeah.
With a couple of people. When I was working and I wasn't married, I used to go to the West End because they had, I forget what it was now, but it was a choir.
A choir there, so you would participate in that. So you've been around, actually. You've been in a few choirs, it sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, What about Polymnia as a community group within Melrose or the surrounding communities? Because I know there are people from Wakefield and probably from Malden as well, or maybe even from Stoneham. What makes Polymnia stand out as a community group?
Well, I think the first thing you'd say would be that we had very good people who were conductors, male or female. And that certainly helped. And, you know, I guess when I think about singing in the chorus, most of the people had a music teacher that they went to. A lot of them.
Okay. Now, you said a minute ago that you've enjoyed the friends that you've made.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you have like friends that go back 50 years?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Polly Howell was some of the older women. Yeah. And we rehearsed at the, what's the church there? Across from the library.
Oh, across from the library, the Universalist Church.
Right.
Yeah. And you rehearsed there. Oh, that's right. You used to rehearse there. That's right. I remember that. Yeah. Okay, great. What about concerts? Did you have any concerts that were your favorites? That you're always just like, I'll always remember that concert?
Well, I think there were a lot of them.
Well, after 50 years.
I can't think of them, but oh yeah, no, we did some big masses, which was good. We also, this is something that they haven't done recently, we also got on the radio.
Really?
Yeah, we went over to the studio.
Which one, do you know?
I forget.
You don't remember?
Somebody in Boston.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So we did kind of travel around, too.
On the radio.
Which was interesting.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I think maybe Cheryl might have mentioned that. I don't really remember exactly. She might have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Did you do any solos over the years? Did you ever?
Yes, I did.
You have?
Yeah.
Anyone in particular that stands out that you really loved?
I love all music. Yeah, occasionally I did a solo.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
I don't know, because I had done some solos in high school.
Oh, so you just don't get nervous, do you?
Oh, I get nervous.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Everybody gets nervous.
All right, so now I know you were serving on the board, the Polymnia Board of Directors, right? And I know it was for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any other roles? I mean, you were a director on the board. Did you ever play any other? Were you ever president of the Polymnia? Or?
I was a president at one time.
You were?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was always good. Let's put it that way.
We had a lot of things to kind of think about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, God, when you think about Jean Pendleton, she was just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you walked in, she'd be sitting there, and, you know, we'd say, I want to sing and whatnot. But she was great for if people stayed away, that she would call them. Oh, you know what I mean? She really kept things right up there.
So she was like one of the prime movers in knitting the group together.
Right.
I see.
She was a wonderful girl.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Her husband, too. Yeah.
I don't remember if I asked you this yet, but were there any unusual things that happened during the concerts that you can recall?
Yeah, there were some. Now, I'd have to probably, you know, think about it at home, but there were a few funny instances.
Yeah. Well, it's, I guess, all part of the experience.
Right. Yeah.
What about the accompanists? How many? You must have gone through lots of accompanists.
Oh, yeah.
Any of those stand out?
Who stands out? Well, Keith does, because
Keith.
he was He had a wonderful singing voice.
Oh, and he sang too.
And his wife also had a great voice. So we learned a lot from him. But, you know, all of the conductors really.
Well, we're not talking just conductors now, but accompanists.
Right. And but we didn't have that many accompanists since they were there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the unforgettable people. You've mentioned Jean.
Penderpick.
Yeah.
She was what would you call it? She was always there.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing, helping out.
Anybody? Tell me about some other folks that you. It's like these are the folks I will never forget.
Yeah. No, a lot of them. Blondie was there for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few.
Star
back.
Dimitri.
Who?
Star Dimitri.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was another one. She was wonderful. She was the pianist.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts you might have about your time at Polymnia?
Well, I think it helped me because I did have postpartum after my fourth one.
So you were depressed. Yeah.
Yeah. And it really helped me great to
Lifted you up.
get out of the house,
Yeah.
you know, once a week and just sing. Because I had always sung in grammar school, in high school,
Wonderful.
and around the house. And I was in all kinds of various choirs. Church choirs.
Sounds like you've been around.
Yeah, I've been
Rose.
around a little bit.
Well, I want to thank you. Is there any other parting thoughts you might have before we close?
Well, I think, I'm sure for most of the singers, there was a good reason for them to join, and it probably helped, you know, getting away from the children.
Or life. I mean,
Or life, right.
Just getting away from.
No, I think it's a wonderful experience, actually. Because we did a lot. We went on the radio a number of times, which is something that they don't do anymore. And we had very, very good conductors. Yeah.
All right.
So I think on the whole, and people enjoyed one another's, you know, companionship. You know, people helped each other.
And they still do.
Yeah, they still do, you know.
It's been a pleasure talking to you today, Rose Sena. And thank you so much for your time and your time at Polymnia. You are one of the treasures of the organization. And on behalf of the Friends of Polymnia and as a member of the board myself, thank you so much for your contributions and your continued presence at Polymnia Choral Society.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.